Sala, mimi naitwa Gitonga Wadaga, mkaaji wa Nairobi Starehe constituency. And leo tulikuwa hapa Karioko kuhusu maneno hii ya transfer of county functions. Tulikuwa na public participation. Sasa kwa maoni yangu vile naona serikali ama hiyo agreement iliegemea or it relied on one act of parliament, Intergovernmental Relations Act. Ile chapter 5 ambaye inasema agreement can be reached between an authorized person. Governments can reach an agreement, all right, and for transfer of functions. In this case, even if walikuwa na tegemea that article, the agreement inakuwa between governments, not between an individual. The governor is not the government of the county government of Nairobi. The governor is only part of the government. Government has to include the the county assembly as well. So in reality, that agreement is really null and void. It does not hold any legal basis because the governor was not actually authorized. It was not authorized by the by the county assembly. So it is an illegal act. And if anything, that should actually form a ground of impeachment. Kwa ile impeachment walikuwa wanataka kufanya, hiyo pia wanataka waongeze sababu is an abuse of office. Kwa hiyo pia the agreement, they also ignored the act on public participation bill. The public participation bill of 2018 requires that the public is consulted and their views taken on board before any action of such magnitude is taken into consideration. But in this case, they ignored that act. Furthermore, they also ignored other acts actually, which is even more serious. They ignored the Constitution. The Constitution Act, the Constitution Article 190, on the support of governments. It requires that the government consults the National Assembly as far as the issues that it wants to support a particular county. And the National Assembly deliberates, and also now the issue is also taken to the county assembly. And when the issues is deliberated on that, then it also gives room for the Senate to look at it to see whether the intervention by the national government is warranted. But in this case, they ignored that Article 190 of the Constitution, and as well the Article 187 of the Constitution. What we are saying is that what is the reality and the legal position is, as much as I'm not a legal professional, is that this is it's an illegal action. And it will go to court, and when the court definitely, it will most probably decide, it will give a determination that the action was illegal. However, we know this is a government of impunity, and they know it will be declared illegal by the High Court. But like they did with the appointment of judges, they will file an appeal which they will frustrate for the next maybe 1 or 2 years, or at least 1 year. By the time the appeal is heard, it will be 1 year or another 1 year. When it is determined, it will be 1.5 years. After it is determined, if they lose, they go to the Supreme Court. Now they frustrate the process for another 6 to 1 year's time. So in essence, they will have done whatever they wanted in the 2 years because they will be in control. And what they are saying, is not lost. It is upon our MCAs who are going actually to be rendered jobless by this agreement. It's upon them now to rise to the occasion, not only safeguard their jobs, but safeguard the county of Nairobi and devolution in general. Because it's a litmus. They want to test the waters to see how they're gonna do, how Kenyans or how the people is gonna react when they grab, because literally they have grabbed the powers of the county. This is a big threat to devolution. And we cannot, and the Kenyans cannot sit around and wait to see the gains that we have had in devolution being eroded. This same government that is purporting to come and take over functions, and especially of health, is actually laughable. Because if you remember, the county government, the national government has a budget of 60 billion shillings in the health docket. And with only 3 hospitals, actually 2, and because Mathare Mental Hospital is in the country, we call it a hospital. But with only Kenyatta National Hospital and Moi Referral Hospital, they are not able to manage those 2 institutions, and they really cannot account for the monies. All that we know is that they bought containers that are lying at Mombasa. We know that they procured equipment for our county hospitals that are not workable, that are not, most of them that are not installed, and most of them that are not operatable because we don't have enough personnel. All that we know, what we know about the Ministry of Health is that their action is procurement driven. It's not about the needs of Kenyans. And it will be suicidal for Nairobi County to allow that our health facilities or any other facilities is going to be controlled by. And the failure by the governor is not the failure by the county. We should differentiate those two. If the governor and his administration fail, we cannot destroy the whole institution of the Nairobi County because of the failure of the administration. We should allow the institution to work, and we should respect institutions. We cannot purport to say that we are saving devolution because one person that person is the one who should be removed. And it's ironical that the president called the MCA to State House and tried to persuade him not to impeach the governor, which implies that he's got other motives other than the service delivery of Nairobi. Because if he's really interested in the service delivery of Nairobi, and the people of Nairobi, through the MCA, want to remove the governor because of non-performance, why? And the question, why? Why would he be interested in retaining him in office? There is a lot that we really don't know, but we don't care. We don't care. What we know is we should not allow this to happen. Uhuru akona kazi yake huko juu. Na sisi, na kwanza hiyo imemshida. He is not even able to do that. And you should allow the MCAs to do their work down here. When we need to get rid of Sonko, we have our MCAs whom we will instruct to go and impeach him or remove him. If we are unable to remove him, if they are unable to impeach him, then the Nairobians will deploy other methods, even if it's physical. At least we are good at that. Uhuru ameshindwa na kufanya kazi yake. He has refused to appoint the Auditor General of this country. So many companies now are not able now to report the annual reports because we don't have an Auditor General. And the reason why they don't want an Auditor General appointed is because they don't want to be accountable for the funds that they have actually not misused but stolen from the taxpayers of this country. Uhuru has refused to appoint 42 judges that were recommended by the Judicial Service Commission. Uhuru, after failing to do that, he went to court. That because the court ruled that he cannot refuse to open, he does not have the leeway whether to accept or not. He has to appoint. It's a requirement that he does. But he's contesting that. And you wonder for whose interest. Because in the meantime, when the judges are not being appointed, there are cases lying, cases are piling because we don't have. Some appeal courts, many appeal courts now in the country now are not operational. They are operating from town to town because now we have a shortage of judges. This is the same Uhuru now that want to save this is complaining that Sonko doesn't have a deputy governor. It's the same Uhuru now that is complaining that Sonko does not have CECs. The fact of the matter is there's no difference between Uhuru and Sonko. And if possible, we should get rid of Sonko, and thereafter we get rid of Uhuru sooner than later. Asante.